All right. Good evening. Good evening. How are you doing? How is everybody doing? Hope you are doing well. So tonight is a simulcast. So here we are. And I am going to be doing bookmarks, but not right now. Tonight I'm just going to be doing a little bit of coloring, talking, and just kind of reflecting over conversations, I guess you could say, and really working on myself anyway. And gosh, when you're working on yourself and you've gone through trauma, it's like one of those things where like, can I get over this thing already? Can it just be done? Can the triggers disappear? Can they just not be here anymore? Hey, loyalty, it's annoying for me. And I'm not saying that I can't get over it. I obviously can. But today, when my friend was talking, I know he'll listen to this podcast later. I know he will. So, yes, like I said, I'm doing a simulcast. So, I'm over here on Facebook and YouTube and also on TikTok. So, for those of you in the comments on whatever platform, please like, share, subscribe. And of course, this is for God's gift through his word. It's a DV Night Talk. So, you can also check it out on YouTube as well. And the book, The Gift to Find God's Love, Guilt and Shame Turned into My Shine, available wherever you can find it. So it's also an Audible too. So I wanted to just put that out there because sometimes I forget to do that. Like, what are you talking about? So this evening I wanted to do a demon night talk because I've been saying I was going to, and I hadn't. I was like, yeah. And so the last couple of days that I've been working on my bookmarks for the church, I've been telling people on TikTok, oh yeah, I'm going to do my DV night talk. It never happened. So I said, you know what? Tonight I'll just do the DV night talk, make sure I get it done, and then I'll go and make my bookmarks. Because I think when I do my bookmarks, I get lost in the creation of those, cutting them and doing that. That I just, after I'm done with TikTok, I'm just done. So I don't do it anymore. Hey, ZB, how are you? Hey, Mary. Hey, guys. Thank you guys for being here. So, anyway, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And I'm going to probably talk a little bit about an incident that happened earlier. And I guess, this morning when I mentioned it, so for those of you who don't know, I'll share the incident with you guys. But this morning I thought I was kind of good. I was really, when I went in, because normally when I do my podcast and when I share because it's therapeutic for me and it gets the things inside of me up and out. So I'm not holding on to it. So, you guys, thanks for being here. So I don't want to just hang on to those things. So this morning I did talk about it. I did talk about the situation, but sometimes things linger. And then I'm like, I want to be done with these weird little triggers that I have that I don't even know. Some certain things happen or certain things somebody says. I'm like, that should be gone. That should not be a thing. But as long as I'm working on myself, like I put myself back in therapy because I've been in therapy just trying to deal with all the residuals of going through domestic violence and all that jazz. And I encourage people to do that. It's not a bad thing if you do that. You're not looked at as that person. You're working on yourself. And so I've been through doing that a lot. And every time I feel like, I think I need to work on some stuff. So I'll go back, and thank goodness that I could go through, the VA as a military veteran. I could go to the Vet Center. So that's helpful, right? So I'm like thankful for that. So anytime I need to, I do that because I've done dialectical behavioral therapy, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, EDMR. I forgot all the letters, what those mean, but I've done a lot of those therapies. And then of course, a regular talk therapy, which is very helpful just to get things up and out. So I wanted to share that this afternoon, my friend was talking to me and I laughed and he kind of mocked it and mimicked it, and I guess not in a mean or evil way, but for me, not him, but for me inside, something just I felt in myself, and feelings aren't fact. I know that, but inside of me, it was like it hurt. Like, am I being mocked? It felt like it was an attack, and it wasn't. He even prefaces, "I'm not laughing at you, just at what happened afterwards." And logically, I know that, right? Logically, I understand that. Logically, I realize that. I know that rationally. I get that whole thing. But for some reason, my body in my mind is like, that's not okay. And I realize why. Because anything I've ever done when it's dealt with other people that have had a hand in creating abusive things for me to have to relive through, to get over that trauma, get through it, grow through it, all of those things, is because that had happened to me prior with my ex, and my dad would do that too, laugh and giggle and say all kinds of things. And to my family, I was their version of a ditzy blonde. They saw me as an idiot and still continue to this day see me as that, which is fine. That's why I don't hang around them that often. So anyway, that being said, I just said I addressed it. Hey, Dr. LaShondwa. There you are. Hey guys, welcome in. So I addressed it, but I sent him a voice memo, and I will hear about it. I know, but it's one of the things I'm processing through. And I went to Barnes and Nobles last year, and I purchased two books. And one, I take my time very slow to get through them. One's in a I think I gotta find the title of it, but it's like an abusive family uh, kind of book. A person that has grown up in an abusive family, and then this one here, which is very reminiscent and very, very true of my mother. And it's Adult Daughters, Narcissistic Mothers. And it says, quiet the critical voice in your head, heal self doubt, and live the life you deserve. Now, I know people will say, get rid of self help books, and I get it. And I love the Bible. I love to read the Bible. I'm a Bible believing believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. But for some things, and I'm not saying God can't take care of everything, because obviously He can. But when there's other people that have gone through something similar, you want to hear their take. And sometimes people will say, well, you just keep, praying about it. And I will, and I do. But one thing I realize is that where these things come from, where I feel like I'm not enough, I realize where that comes from. It's not because I don't think I'm good enough. I've been programmed for a very, very long time to believe that, to understand that that's the lane that at one time I was designated to hang out in, because that's where people put me and that's how they thought of me. So the critical conversations and things, like if somebody says, "Oh, that's a nice dress. I like that." I'm like, I wonder why they're saying that for. Do they really mean that? It's like one of those things that you're always doubting what people say because you've had a history, your own history, not saying that people are not kind or genuine. I'm just saying through the lens of maybe a person that has experienced trauma and abuse. Sometimes it takes a minute to just see people that are talking to you and that they really are genuine. Hey, Angela, thanks for being a longtime watcher, and you are a rising star. Woo! Thank you for being here. So I just realized that. So the different things in this book, they resonate so loud to me, and I was like, is that why? Is that why I do what I do? Yes. And there's so much things in here that I was reading about guilt, shame. Do narcissists feel empathy, anger? And the title of my book is The Gift of Finding God's Love, Guilt and Shame Turned into My Shine. I realized that for me, and this is for part of the DV Night Talk, so we're going to be talking all about this for domestic violence, and for those that have gone through it, or for those that know people are going through it. When you think that they are just out of their mind, why don't they just, figure out a way to just move on, get over it? And I mean, they've been out of this situation for long enough. Maybe they've been out of the situation 6 years, 10 years, 20 years. Why are you still having like residual effects? Like, you should be over it. It's over and done. move on, right? But that's not necessarily how it works out. And as I've been reading and studying, those things you can handle, right? The triggers that you have, when you know what they are, you realize what they are, and they don't throw you into a complete emotional basket case, or you don't fly off the handle because you are understanding, okay, this thing here does not make me feel comfortable. It's causing me some discomfort emotionally. I need to address said trigger, right? You don't want to make the triggers be the things that are the catalyst of destroying relationships, because it can if you allow it to. If you can allow every single thing that somebody does and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they said that. And then also on the flip side, if you're not careful, you can remove yourself from friendship. Like, you know what? It's probably better I'm not their friend because I might just ruin it anyway. And I don't want to bring my junk to their life. So I will just moonwalk away from them. And that's not good either, right? Both spectrums of the sides, the pendulum swinging too far to the left, too far to the right, is you got to find that happy medium. And sometimes it can be hard, it can be hard, it can be challenging. So that's what I found today. And so I was like, okay. And I just said to myself, I just want to be done with this stuff. I want to be done with people saying things and it affecting me, not to a point like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they said that, and start crying and stuff. No, just I don't want to have to worry about that. And that's why I put myself back at there, because it's like I don't even want to get in a relationship because I don't want to hurt anybody, because I still need to work on myself, right? And I'm gonna do that and continue to do that. And I don't know if I'll stop doing that, right? I'll continue to try and make myself better than I was yesterday. And when I look back, hey, Mary, when I look back, I have come a very long and far way, and it's it's been a challenge. And so this chapter here, I highlighted. There's a lot in it. I'll show you guys. There it is. I highlighted this a lot, and I read it. It was identifying gaslighting and lack of empathy. Like, I wanted to understand why, how I feel about my kids at times. Sometimes I am cold emotionally, very stoic. And when my kids at times start crying, I don't tell them all the time why they're crying. I used to when they were younger, but I'm like, okay, well, just go take some time. It's like the emotion of it, I want to detach myself away from it and just, let them relax and then come back. But I realize, and my friend Pastor Jay helped me to understand that too. Like, the emotions that I had, the emotions I still have, right? Not just say had, but the emotions I do have and that we all have. When people take your emotions and they weaponize it and they use it against you, you no longer want to be vulnerable enough to express emotion, because in the past when you've done that, people have taken your vulnerability and they've taken things that you said in confidence and they've slapped it back in your face, or they've tried to demolish friendships like my sister had done. And I'm like, that's so ratchet and ugly that you feel like you have to protect yourself all the time and everything you say and how you move. And it's just like, well, if I leave this person ahead of time, then I don't have to worry about saying something wrong because I'm not in their life anymore. And just remove yourself, like I stated before. But I don't want to. I personally don't want to move in that way. But I can rest assured and tell you guys for sure that it's a hard road. It's not like it's not a road that I can get over. Yes, right? Yes. Let me get this easel down. It's not a road that I can't get over, but it is a challenge for me. And I realized that today, that I thought I was further along, and I think I am further along, but I still have areas to work on. I don't know if those areas will ever be 100% like gone, but I know I work on it all the time. So I was looking for other glasses and I still haven't found any new ones. Hey, the truth, doctor. And I'm drinking today Vanilla Cinnamon Shirley Temple by Wild Blossom. My daughter poured the entire glass in there. And I did have a rose mold ice. I had a rose molded ice in here, but it melted. So I can't pour and do the thing that we normally do. So it's okay. So when I drink that all and it's all gone, it's all gone. Because normally when I drink, I'll drink half of it and then I'll pour some more. And my daughter's like, next time, give out all the information that you want half the drink in the glass and you want half in the bottle. Our instruction. I'm like, okay. So anyway, today I went looking for my daughter a prom dress because she's gonna go to prom. And I did not realize how hard it is to find a prom dress with a little sleeve because the school she goes to is very traditional and conservative in the way that they want the dressing. So normally, prom dresses, they have the spaghetti straps or they have no strap or sleeveless or whatnot. And it's very hard to find. Uh, it's very hard to find dresses where there's no back out, there's no tummy out, there's no deep V with a mesh. And we went to, let me see, we went to Windsor, we went to Rain, Sparkle, let's see, Camille LeVay. What do we went to Q Love. So I think we went to 6 stores. And out of all those stores, I think the only one store, which was Sparkle, of course I like that store, so Sparkle. But when we went in there, my daughter found 2 dresses. One had a very long sleeve, but it was really sheer. So it was really light. And then it had another dress that had like a half a sleeve, which is good. And it covered her entire shoulder with a little like a clear, like almost like a chiffon or kind of like, I don't know how to look, like describe it, but it was kind of another sheerish kind of material, like a sheer mesh kind of material. And we went hunting for dresses at the mall. And I was gonna take her to these bridal stores, but some of these bridal stores, when I was looking, I was like, no, I'm not gonna go there just for the sake. Oh, we don't have that, and we don't have this. But when we talked to the lady at the Camille LeVay store, I'm not sure if I even pronounced it well, but anyway, she was like, yeah, it's really hard for us to get sleeves because of course we live in Arizona, so it's really hot. So they're not selling like a whole bunch of like sleeve dresses, right? But even with the short sleeves and like light sleeves, it's just like hard to find, sleeves, even with bridal dresses. And I said, if I ever get married again, which I don't know. So if that ever were to happen, I was like, I'm looking at the bridal dresses like, well, dang, all of them don't really have sleeves because I would wear sleeves. I would wear a lace sleeve because I like sleeves, not one that's like full, like just everything, but lace sleeves with like the appliques of like flowers or leaves or something like that, if that were to be a thing. But for now, I'm not stressing about that because who knows, the Lord may or may not have something like that for me in the future. But for now, I just wanted to get on here and just share my thoughts because Demon Night talk for me, and I was excited because since I have that event coming up, which I'm not going to keep announcing it, but the Ignited New Start Reclaim Your Power, Rewrite Your Story event, I got another person that said they would like to come and be a part of it. So I was like, yay. So I'm still working on it, and I just am just praying the Lord just guide me in what I need to do. And sometimes you wonder, like, am I, and I know my friend would like stop doing that, but sometimes I wonder, like, what is the avenue or the different kind of way I'm supposed to be moving for the different things. But I keep pushing, and eventually something will break. But yeah, so I just wanted to right now just take a minute and color a leaf because I hadn't colored in a while, and I told those of you on TikTok that I would start again after the bookmarks, but I got bookmarks to make tonight anyway. And I'm just like I really just adore being able to have the freedom to do what I need to do. And as I've noticed with my daughter, she's been very communicative. And I'm like, wow. And I don't have any dating advice to share. And I don't want to share any. Because I don't really date right now, so there I can share any advice with you guys. And I'm just busy working on me. And that's it right now. Trying to work on me and keep working on me for however long that is. And trying to make sure I keep and maintain my friendships to the best of my ability and show up for people if I can, if it's in my capacity. I think sometimes we try to do for people, we try to be there, and we want to show that we're a good, solid person. But sometimes trying to be there for everyone, you might lose yourself. So I would just remind you to take a break as well. Don't try to do everything, and then you might become overwhelmed, right? And then that could potentially have you like, I just need to take some time. I need to take some time away. And for me, going through all this stuff, and some people don't understand and they never will. I don't expect them to. And I just know for me, I just work on myself and keep on going. So when you when you're a person that has experienced domestic violence, I want you to remind yourself to be kind to yourself. Be kind. Because the healing journey is not a quick fix. And you may have been out of that situation for 6, 10, 15, 20, 25 plus, and so on. Those things that have happened, they don't just disappear. And our body has body memory and it can recall things. And sometimes those things that you never dealt with, they will show up in opportune times. And then you'll have to address it. I mean, not all triggers and things that you have gone through and all the domestic violence and different things, not all of that stuff is going to show up all at once, right? It might be a different incident. Someone says something like, oh, wow, whoa. And now you want to keep that person at an arm's length because what they've said, it bothers you, right? But they didn't do anything wrong. They were just talking. They were just being themselves. But you're the one that has the issue. So sometimes I'm like, I want all of this stuff to just be done. I just want to be done with that. I want to be done with feeling like this, and if there's something that makes me uncomfortable, I just run. I really do. I had a friend that had said something and I ran. Uh, it made me feel uncomfortable. It gave me a knot in the pit of my stomach and I left. I left, I smashed out, I went home. I'm like, I'm not going to sit there and try to figure out my trigger with her at that moment. I'm just gone. And same thing with my friend. When he said what he said and he said, I was like, okay, off the phone, goodbye. Like, I don't want to argue about anything. I won't make anybody feel bad. I will just go and do whatever I have to do for my self-care, whether that's writing in a journal about the situation, uh, being on here as another avenue to get it up and out. But yeah, and I can, and I say it all the time, and it's not It's not to make a big emphasis on it, but I try so hard to be around people that I really love and care about. But then there's a part of that old school behavior after dealing with domestic violence that just makes me want to just go back to the familiar. And the familiar is to shut down, isolate, and just stay away from everybody as a protective mechanism. Is that the right thing to do? Absolutely no, it's not. We know that. You know that when you hear that. That's not how you treat your friends, right? You don't just disappear, but it feels comfortable to disappear. It feels comfortable to isolate. For me, it feels comfortable to dismiss them and remove myself, like not be involved. I was like, yeah, I just, no. I have been watching relationships that I've garnered. I've been watching people that come around me, and when they talk to me, because my personality is such that I'll talk to you. I am a kind person. I truly do my best not to, go off on people if I don't need to. I mean, I'm not that. That's not my personality. I don't just be going off on people and just cussing people out just to cuss them out just because I feel like it. Like, no. But there are people that can see that and like, huh, I think she's easy to get over on. Let me siphon some things out of her. Let me try and see if she's not paying attention and hit her with the good old doke. And I just like that to my core. It rocks me because that's been a thing that I've had to deal with also in the past. That people can come into your life and they can see what you can do. They know what you are equipped to do, capable of doing. And then they can try, if you're not careful, to get things out of you. Even if they see that you're a willing person to like share information, it's just a bothersome thing. I guess because I've gone through that a lot too. We're just like, okay, well, where do you draw the line? Right now, right here in the sand, I put those boundaries up. Because if you don't put them up, people will run over you and say, well, I didn't know you didn't like that. I didn't know you didn't appreciate that. Okay, well, I'm telling you now. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, it is. But I'm drawing a big major line, and these are my boundaries, and I don't want you crossing them. Sometimes people be okay with it, and sometimes they won't. Remember one thing about boundaries: boundaries teach people how to treat you. They really do. And then also, boundaries is for your protection. So you don't get involved in something. You overcommit yourself. You overpromise for things that you say that you're going to do. And then after doing all of that, you realize you've just been used for whatever it is, whether it's your speaking, your talking, your drawing, your creativity, your gathering people together, whatever you do. For some reason, they just gravitate to that person and try to suck the very essence of them out of their body. It's just like, what? And there's a way that they do that, right? There's a way that they do that. And sometimes people ask a gazillion questions because they're trying to get all the information they can from you. So you also have to be careful how you move because people are always watching and they're always listening and they're always trying to observe and try to catch something, right? But you have to be just really 100% cognizant of that. Your kindness is not weakness. Being humble and having humility, that characteristic, is not bad. To be meek is not bad either. So when people say that, oh, well, you're just so meek and mild. Well, I want to have a meek and mild spirit because that's what Jesus would require. So should I be loud and chaotic outdoors and cussing people out and dragging people for holy filth just cuz? I don't think so. I zero think so. Hey, Emily. So I'm not going to deal with it. But back to the incident. I thought I was done. But my daughter, my youngest, and I'll fast forward the other stuff because I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But there was an incident on Thursday that happened with a driver. And long story short, because I'm not going to go into all the details, she had an accident. Her woman started, blah, blah. And I just felt so angry in that moment. I didn't know how to take that embarrassment, humiliation, uncomfortableness. I couldn't take those feelings away from my daughter, but I saw it in her face, and her face said it all. This world, if you let it, it will beat you down to the ground, but you can't let it do that. You can't let it. You can't let people who you think are your friends, but they're really frenemies, they just want to be around you for whatever crazy cockamamie reason, but they're not your friend. I've had plenty of those. There were a whole bunch of them in California where I was. Thank goodness I left them. And I remember one of them specifically. I remember what she would say, like, oh, I have a house in Tucson. We could just follow you out there. I was like, the devil's a whole lot. I don't give a freak what you have out here. I don't want to be your friend. We are not friends because of the way you treated me. Don't call me. Don't look for me. I'm blocking you on all social media. Like, I don't want no parts of you. What do you not understand about that? I don't care to want to know your new number because I'm never going to contact you again in life. Like the way that you act and showed your tail and showed how deplorable and evil and wicked you actually were, thinking about my kids and what you were doing with them, absolutely disgusting. And you think that I want you as a friend, you're absolutely crazy because I don't. I don't want to tell you anything that I'm doing. I don't want you to know anything I'm doing. I don't want you to know that I'm TikTok. I don't want you to know what I do TikTok. I don't want you to know that I do Facebook. I don't want you to know that what I'm doing with my, I don't want you to know anything about my, I don't want you to know anything. So all those social media things that you know about, all the stuff, you better just hang on to the book because you're never getting anything else that I do. I don't want to be your friend. I'll never be your friend again in life. God love you, but not in my life, not in my lifetime, never again. And I was so glad to get rid of her fast and quicken her. And funny thing is, she works with my father. Cheers to them, huh? In different departments of Northrop Grumman, but they know each other because obviously she knows my dad because of me and vice versa, right? I'm like, okay. The funny thing about that is even family can be wretched. And my family, sometimes they take the cake. And I've heard other people's family members that sound like mine. I was like, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one with family members that are pretty downright wrong in a lot of ways. But see, that's not everybody's story. Not everybody comes from a family of major dysfunction. Not everybody comes from a family that just heaps trauma on you. Not everybody comes from a family like that. Some people have amazing families where their moms and dads, they had great times, amazing memories, did all kinds of stuff, go on family trips together, family vacays. Hey, this year we're going to Italy. Next year we're going to Fiji. Then next time we're going to Abu Dhabi. Like they just do family things. And we're going on a cruise. Everybody, we're going on a cruise, family cruise this year, right? No, not everybody has that story. Not everybody has that story. And when I hear people that have just a regular family, I'm like, dang, it must be nice. It must be nice. And I used to admire one of my friends' relationship with her mother. Like, man, that's a relationship that I wish I had with my mother. Is it ever going to be a thing? I don't know. But from my perspective, probably not, right? Because she's a woman that if she did do something wrong, apologies are coming. Doesn't matter what, you know. Hey, Martha. So after 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 discovering all of that, I realized that I have created for myself my own family with the people and the friends I love. Now, it would be very wrong of me, very selfish to throw all of that away because of past trauma history that I'm trying to make it affect what I do now. And I don't want that. I have some amazing friends. I do. And they are top tier. I'm just going to say that for me. They're very caring. They check on me. They help me with all kinds of things. And I can't, I just can't tell you guys enough. I have, for me, the Lord has blessed me with certain friends that they already know. Some of them come through with finances for to help me and my family. I'm not asking them; they volunteer it, and I'm like, "Oh, I could pay you back," and they'll get mad. Like, did I ask you to pay me back? No. Okay, then why are we having this conversation? I know what you need. Like, oh, the Lord put it on my heart to do this. I'm doing it. Yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, depending on which friend is saying that. Let me get this for you. Please let me buy lunch for you. I can, please. Okay. Oh, okay. I was like, do I have a face that says, help me? My friend's like, yes. I'm like, what? No, I mean, not like that, but you do. I mean, like, okay. Just, but people see and like want to help. I think before there were some movies, and I remember there were some movies that came out, and my younger sister said, "Oh, T, you don't want to go watch this movie because you really won't enjoy it. Plus, I kind of know how you are." I'm like, "Shouldn't I go to the movie myself and determine that?" No, you don't need to go. Like, it's not. It's not your speed. Like, okay, So in regards to that too, there's people that are always looking out and like, "Oh, okay." So sometimes I think it's a good thing. Sometimes I think it's annoying. But at the end of the day, these are people that care. And when you've gone through DV, you want people that care around you. You don't want people who don't care. You don't want that. You don't want people that, oh well, I thought you were going to need my help. So that's why I went and called this person. Hey, Seaweed, welcome back. I'm like, no, I don't understand. Like, there's people in our lives, and some of them, you're like, okay, we cool. Like, we here. We are, like, right? And there's other people that want to come into your life, like, hey, we're not here. We're over there. And I'm still observing you, trying to figure out if you belong in my life. So don't call me friend because we're not really, you're more like an acquaintance or an associate. You're something else. But to call people just friends just randomly, no. I remember I was on the dating line some live was last year because I get on every now and again, but not really. Last year I did. I was on there a lot, and I remember this guy. He was like, "Well, we could just be friends. We're friends right now." Like, sir, we're not friends right now. He's like, "Well, we're friends, right? Because if we're friends, then we can start dating." I was like, "That's not how that works. Yeah, we got to be friends first, but you talking to me straight out the gate, you think we're friends, and then we're gonna just go and jump and date, sir? Hashtag no. That's not how it works." Like at all. Well, how are we supposed to date? It takes a minute to get to know me first. You have no idea what I like. You have no idea my personality because I'm a very opinionated person, but I don't just, go out and just start acting crazy or anything like that. But I will tell you how I feel. I'm not just a person that, yes, okay, yes, like Coming to America, whatever you like. I know what I like, but what do you like? Whatever you like. Well, I know what I like, but I want to know what you like. Whatever you like. I'm not like that. We will have a conversation. We will. Like, whatever you like, ha, we like nothing. I don't please. If that's how it's gonna be, then I am not for you, and you are not for me, and we don't have to be. And bye bye. See you later. Right? You don't have to hang around me, and I'm not begging you to. So with that, you just got to be careful. And I said one of the dating world, I was at a point trying to get back into it. Right now, I'm gonna sit out on the sidelines for a minute. I'm outside of it right now, but I hear about it, and I was like, no, I don't want to be zombied. I don't want to be ghosted. I don't want to be any of those things. Because, like, no. So he's like, you've been zombied? Yes. It's like ghosted, but a little deeper. Hey, George. So somebody's like, what does that mean, T.Drake? What does that mean? Well, I'll tell you. Everybody knows what ghosted means. Somebody talks to you and then they just disappear. They're just gone. Zombie is like that. They disappear, except they disappear for a long time. We're talking it could be a year. Let's just say it's a year. You talked to this person a year ago. You didn't even say their number because for whatever reason you wasn't driving. Hey, Celine, you weren't driving. It wasn't working for whatever reason. It doesn't even matter. But they pop up out of the blue. They come up out of the dead. That's what they call zombieing. That's why you were zombie. You've been zombie. They pop up out of the dead, and then you get this text. Hey, how's it going? Remember me? Remember you? Who? Hold the phone. Who is it? And you go ahead and text. May I know who this is, please? Oh yeah, it's me, Frank. Frank, you don't remember me? And then they'll go and put a little disclaimer. Well, it has been a while. I haven't really talked to you in a long, long time. Then what? Why would I save your number? I definitely didn't save your number because after you not talk to me for another amount of time, I understand in my head it don't take that long to make 1 + 1 = 2, that you and I are not jiving. So no need to save your number. I don't know who you are, so I move on. So it's like, yeah, it has been a long time, but I want to see if you were, you have a significant. Wait a minute. You just zombied me. You just came back from the dead and you're going to pop into those kind of questions. Sir, what is wrong with you? I'm not dignifying that with an answer. Like, you haven't called me in a long time. And be careful of the lies and be careful of the stories. Well, you know what? I am so sorry because I was really going through some stuff. One of my family members died. Okay, sorry. My condolences that your family member, who was it? Oh, my aunt. My aunt passed away. I'm sorry, your aunt passed away. And then there was stuff at work. And I was just, man, I've just been so busy and been so swamped. I should have reached out. You're right. Absolutely. I just been busy with work and this whole family thing, you know. I'm like, okay. I'm not a heartless person. I can understand when someone passes. That's hard. But sometimes you wonder if people put themselves out there so they can get some kind of attention garnered to them for however long they have it. They could just say, I have somebody. I wouldn't do that. Mm-mm. I wouldn't do that. So I don't think I've been on here too terribly long. I'm gonna go do the rest of my bookmarks, but I did want to get on here and at least do a little bit of a DV night talk because I just kept talking about it, and kept talking about it, and I never did it. So we're doing it tonight. Cheers! We're doing it tonight, and that is what we have done. So did I forget something? No, I did not. Okay. I was like, I did. So this is the book. I'll just show it to you guys so you can see it because I forgot to put it up. So this is the book, The Gift to Find God's Love, Guilt and Shame Turned into My Shine, just so you guys can see it. So when I'm talking about the book, this is my book that I wrote about my personal testimony of going through domestic violence. It is an inspirational book and a memoir. So sometimes when people call and ask me, like these publishers and stuff, is this your story or is this something you heard about? I'm like, what? Is this yours? Did you write it because you were inspired because somebody else went through domestic violence and then you wrote The Gift to Find God's Love, Guilt and Shame Turned into My Shine? No, this is my personal experience. Oh, no wonder. I'm like, what? So I have all these different publishing people calling me. I'm like, listen, no. Then someone was like, I'll put you on a podcast. I have my own podcast. Oh, well, this guy goes out to like millions of people. I'm like, I don't care. Listen, how much to be on his podcast? You tell me that. The interviews are always free. Of course they are. The distribution part is the expensive part. Okay. Well, help me to understand. Why am I going to do that? Especially if there's some things I already know to do, and you're going to come and try to play middleman when I can go directly, like say for Barnes and Nobles. This book is in Barnes and Nobles as a digital, right? Now these people are saying, oh, we can help you get into Barnes and Nobles and we could just be there. I'm like, so are you gonna have someone there? No, we're just gonna get you connected to that person and then we'll see how it goes. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. That sounds confusing, annoying. I don't want no parts of it. I'm like, my brain hurts when I hear people try to explain how they think domestic violence went down and that they probably liked it, so that's why they stayed. Like, oh, it's beyond annoying. And one day, I pray the Lord help me to bring a nonprofit out here, but in His good time and His will, if it even is His will. But just understanding that there is a need for services out here like crazy. I'm just praying, but it's God's timing. So there's that. And like I said, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. You guys don't have to. You guys could be doing something else, like watching a game or cooking or baking or whatever. You could be doing other things, right? So thank you guys for tuning in and being here. I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Truly. So with that, I just want to get ready to get out of here and say goodbye. So let's end this one. Then I'll end over here with you guys. You'll hear me say it again. So just hang tight, TikTok. All right. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this conversation. And please let me know if you have any questions or anything of that nature. But please always like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. And I appreciate you guys being here. So my name once again is T.Drake, Podcasting Godmother Connection. A big kiss from me to you. Remember, I love you with the love of Lord Jesus Christ. And remember to be blessed, motivated, and what? Always inspired to do what the Lord lays on your heart. Now, TikTok, we are going to end here. So hang on, I'm going to do my jammy jam. So here we go.
It's God's gift through His word. It's God's gift through His word. Come get God's gift through His word. With T.Drake, we'll get God's gift through His word. Come listen, get your spirit lifted through His word. And get your blessing of God's gift through His word. Come be uplifted. Come be motivated. Come be inspired and encouraged by His word. It's God.